Hello there. This is going to be another one of my debate videos. I've only done one, which was the learner license one. Not learner license, but restricted licenses for bikes. So it's going to be the same as that. I'm going to ask you to put your opinions in the comment box below, and any experiences you've had, and kind of make a big go of it just to see where we go and that now. And this is my opinion and a few others that I know around the place I live and in uni now. The subject we're going to be on today is electric vehicles. So not hybrids or anything like, just pure electric vehicles. Now, this has come about because I went down to Nissan yesterday and was shown around the facility, the research one down in Cranford, that is, not the one up Sunderland. So we got shown around the research centre what they were doing, some of the things we're doing and all that. Now, I'm not going to get into the research stuff that much, as in what was going on, because that was all hush-hush and stuff. I'm going to respect that because, well, I'm just going to respect it. So, yeah, but the whole deal was basically about the Nissan Leaf, which is their new totally electric vehicle, which they're bringing out. Now, we basically got sat down, got shown the range and the Leaf and and then we got shown the Leaf, so we could look around it as we will, so check doors and stuff. Going to admit, was spacious for a car, big boot room. The instrument panel did look a bit futuristic. Now, I don't get why, if you've got an electric car, something like that, you have to make the panel look like it's something out of Star Trek. I'm sorry, but you don't. Some part of me thinks you don't have to do all this screaming, styling to shout out at you. If it's that good of a technology, it should speak for itself. You should just be able to put it in a normal car chassis, drive it, and be able to go, oh, I like that. You know, I don't need all this new-fangled stuff in front of us to tell me it's new. But anyway, that's my opinion. But yeah, it's big space. Even under the engine bay, where the motor actually sits in the converters for the electricity and stuff, it looks like an engine. I don't know if the design looked like an engine, so it looks more into tune with what we know, because I know most people look under engine bays who don't know much about cars just go, that looks like an engine. So I don't know if they've done it that way or that's the way that it was designed, so I'm going to leave that. But anyway, one of the first questions that were asked, because we could ask questions anytime, was how long do the batteries last? Because all batteries will have a life, and these ones are no different. These are lithium-ion batteries that they've got running in them. But basically what they said was after the first 5 years they're 80% efficient, so they've lost 20% of the efficiency, and over the first 10 they lose 70%. Now, one of the questions that was also asked was, how much does one of these batteries cost? And the person said, oh, well, we don't actually change the full battery unit, we change one cell, and each battery contains 42 cells. Now, he said that each cell cost 400 quid. Now, don't get me if I'm wrong, I might be being stupid here, but if one cell has been in the car for 10 years and needs replacing, haven't the other 41 cells in that same battery been in for 10 years and also need replacing? So you're going to have to spend £400 42 times for those cells, which comes to £16,800, which is basically equivalent of over half the price of the car in 10 years. Now, I know the price might have gone down by then, but get yourself a new, that's what will happen, you'll get yourself a new car at the end of it. You won't pay that much to get new batteries in your car. And now they were saying the batteries could be used for somewhere else, like other applications that didn't need such high efficiency, but you're still going to have to fork out that money to put new batteries in your car. Now, another thing is charging of them. Now, I know all yous out there, you get pissed off when you're sitting there waiting for somebody at the petrol bloody station and he's filling up his car, then he goes into the shop and buys himself a Yorkie and a Coke, spends a pile of time rummaging around in his wallet to find his card, pay it and get back in, and it takes him 3 minutes, and you're sitting there going, oh fuck, then fill up. Now, to charge one of these cars up, it takes half an hour. Now, in a petrol station, you've always got a full petrol station nearly, and so 15 pumps, and if each pump's been taken up by an electric car being charged, which hit half an hour, you know what the queues are like if the waiting time's more than 5 minutes. The queue's going to be right down the bloody motorway if you have these electric cars being charged every 2 minutes. And keep into account the range of these is only 100 miles, and that's been, well, eco with the throttle, not like flooring it all the time. So they'll run out quicker if you're on the motorway or something, or going up a hill or this or that. It just seems really absurd to me. And then you've got the charging at home. If you haven't got a garage, which most people won't, you will have to drag a cable out your house to the car, plug it in. Now this means going across your garden or yard, over a public path, which I'm sure there's laws against you putting something over the public path for any period of time for a tripping hazard or health and safety, then plug it in your car. Another thing, people coming on, now you know how imaginative chavs are. If they want that cable out of your car, they'll get it out of your car if it means electrocuting yourself, just for a laugh. So that's another problem with it. So I don't see how, unless you've got a garage, charging is anywhere feasible at home. Now, don't get me wrong, I can see in some applications, like if you're town driving and you're just going around the city and you're just going 20 miles a day or something, I can see where an electric car might be feasible, but not for a full blooming, full spread blooming application for the whole country or the whole world. I don't see it feasible. Now, another interesting subject is, I spent more time, and so did most of my group, looking at the GTR 35 that was in the back, as in the Skyline, that was parked in there. Just normal Skyline, and I thought that was more technologically advanced and more ahead of the Nissan bloody Leaf that was out there. Now, it cost, now I didn't know this and it was a bit of a surprise for me, it cost £5 billion for the research into the Nissan Leaf. Now, I think that would have been better spending on something like the new generation of Skylines or the new generation of Qashqais and stuff. Because I'm sure with that amount of money you'd been able to make a more refined combustion engine, which would have passed emissions flying, and it would have got more miles, and would have been more practical in the long run. You wouldn't be having to charge it up every bloody 100 miles or less, and you wouldn't have to live 30 minutes or 8 hours to charge. You've also got the thing of the infrastructure, like garages, let's say. All these local, backstreet garages, some of them are good, I know some of them are bad, but backstreet garages are being used for years because they're cheaper than the main dealer, because the main dealers rip you off, and they're also, some of them have got better knowledge than the main dealers. Now, if let's just say, electric cars take off within a year or 2 years, not going to happen, I know, but theoretically, let's think hypothetically, let's think it's going to happen. The garages are going to be out of work because you're not going to be able to train that many people in a new technology like this. Some of them won't even get into the heads, because it's just some of the science behind it is complex, and it's not feasible to train that many people. All you'll do is get somebody else that knows that subject area, more like electrician or electrical engineer, and replace those people. So you're going to have piles of people being put out of work because you're actually changing the infrastructure that their livelihood's being built around, which is another problem. So you're going to have people out of work that way, and then you're going to have to go to the main dealers, which means they are going to have a monopoly on the parts market. So that means if you need a motor change, and you're going to go through like Nissan or whoever, and pay through the nose for it, which, to be honest, I think's wrong. You should have a choice. And getting on with that, I like working on my bikes, I like doing the servicing on my bikes, I like doing everything on my bikes other than the MOT, which I can't do, because I'm not licensed to. That's never going to happen no more. You're not going to have people in garages, your own garage, fixing the cars if something goes wrong. You're going to have to take it to the dealer, because it's going to be too complex. And the power that's used in it, it's just not safe. If you wire something wrong in one of these cars, you could danger yourself or the family. Within the car, you could electrocute yourself and kill yourself, because there is a lot of power going through them. Now, what other things was it? Another thing they classed it as was being affordable. Bull. That car was not affordable. 30 grand, without the government's little help me along because you're being eco. With the little eco help along, it's 25, brand new. I can get a decent top of the range Mark IV, not Mark IV. I can get a decent Golf for that, VW Golf, and I would have that any day of the week. I could get a decent second-hand Audi for that. and be fine. Like that V8 Audi that done when Jeremy Clarkson testing Top Gear, V8 twin turbo, got 800 miles on a tank. This, you get 100 miles if you're barely lucky, and you're paying around about the same bloody price. And you're going to have to take twice as long because you have to be sleeping in every travel lodge along the way. That's going to cost you money. It's just absurd. That's if you're on the 8-hour charge, mind you. If you're on the fast charge, it's going to take you slightly, yes, but that's me being a bit over. Yeah. Other things that was sent was like, this is actually off the presentations we did when we were at Nissan. I actually took a pile of notes down from it, just people's views and stuff. But is it really eco? Yes, the car produces nothing, but what about making it? The neodymium magnets are mainly mined in China, out of big open cast mines that use massive lorries that spew all this CO2 that supposedly is climate change. And don't get me into that, because I think it's just another way for taxation to be put on us. But anyway, you've got all the actual things going out of this mining, so all CO2 and stuff into the atmosphere, then the making, then all the stuff that goes into the lithium-ion batteries, which, trust me, is not, the chemicals and stuff that's used in these batteries is not that environment friendly. You can't just dump them out nowhere, they're not going to biodegrade. They are deadly chemicals that are used, like stuff that could harm. And that brings you back to when the car needs to be disposed of, which after 10 years, nobody's going to buy that many batteries from, so they're just going to be stuck in a bloody scrapyard. You're going to have to take them and dispose of them somewhere. We've kind of got to a point now, especially with old cars, like old petrol cars and stuff, we've got to the point where we can dispose and reuse nearly every part of that car. From the oils can be cleaned in the engine, petrol can be reused in it, all the metals are recycled now, even the tyres get turned into bloody bathroom mats. I don't really see how that's not eco-friendly, but, you know, anyway. Also, most people, when we were there, just, especially me, I thought it was just another, C5 Sinclair. A big gimmick. You're going to have all these bloody people like with the Prius, all these people who were famous going, ooh, we've got a green car, yes. We're eco-friendly because we've got this little Leaf here. We'll just ignore the 5 Ferraris and 6 Aston Martins in the back, but we have a Leaf that makes us all green. It's just one big gimmick to jump on. Like I say, I don't see the feasibility in it, other than small applications for city use. I don't see it. Most people have got the idea that hydrogen is the better way forward. Now, I agree with them. Hydrogen is the better way forward if you're going to use it as power to make electricity, or even if you can produce hydrogen at a rate to fuel a combustion engine, which I think would be a better idea because you've got the infrastructure there already. You've got millions, billions of combustion engines out there, and I'm sure if some technology was derived, you could put the technology into those cars and run with the same engines. Don't know the feasibility of it because I haven't looked into it, but I do know there's some things being tested on those grounds, and I think that's a better idea than totally electric cars. What else have we got in here? The skills you're going to need now. I did put a little comparison in here. Nitro cars, I'm into. Before that, I used to be into electric cars. The one reason I changed from electric to nitro cars was I had to wait 8 hours to charge the battery up after I'd finished. With a nitro car, I could just put the fuel in. Now, this is getting back to the fuel point of this argument, that you have to. You are not taking a physical matter, doing a chemical process to it to get energy. You're getting the physical energy given to you separate from the car. The car is not making that energy out of something that's already there. So if the actual source of energy is within the car, you can get that energy like that, because combustion engine, you've always got it. If you're getting that energy from somewhere else and charging something to store that energy, it takes longer. And that's where that's where all the times and stuff come from, the obvious. But that's one of the reasons, that's my judgment with it. With petrol, you can go. It's convenience. Us as people want that convenience. We have the right, if we want, to go out our house, fill up, go anywhere we want. We do not want to be constrained by waiting around for half an hour waiting for our battery to charge, or 8 hours. It's just the way we are. We're an impatient race, and that's the other thing we are. Impatient. We want everything now. What else have we got on this thing here then? Research, engine development, eco-friendly. I've gone through. Another thing they kept comparing it to and I did not like was it's as fast as a GTR 3 or 35. Yeah, no. I'm sorry. I know electric motors, the torque curve is there right off the bat. I can see acceleration-wise electric motors have got combustion engines beat most of the time. I'm not blinded by my opinions to not notice that. Yes, electric motors have got upsides, but the base we're comparing the Nissan to the GTR up to 30. I can't see it. They also compared the Nissan to a 1.6 Golf, performance-wise, but I'd rather have the 1.6 Golf in my opinion. That's just me, but that's another thing that infuriated me. The fact that we're comparing it to a car that was such, the Skyline's got such a reputation as a fast sports car, the technology behind it and all that. That Skyline is more technically advanced than that Leaf, in my eyes. Way more advanced. And I don't see how you can be comparing that to the Leaf. It's just not on in my mind. I think that's a bit sacrilege, to be honest, but yeah. Another thing that was brought up to me, and this was actually by one of my course mates that did one of the presentations, was no car company now seems to be aiming at our age limit. I'm 20 at the moment, but young drivers now, I know there's some dicks out there, but one of the things he said was people our age, especially the chav community and stuff like that, like modifying the cars to say make it unique. Basically what they were saying was, why don't you do a full range, like sports, have this, have that. We want that modability. Well, I don't really want that. I'm not that type of person. I just want things to go fast, so performance is more my thing, not the way it looks. Other than, yeah, but anyway. So that was another thing that was brought up, and they did put it on. They did admit, yeah, it's not really aimed for our group of people. It's more. Well, they didn't actually say what was more, they just kind of went, we can see where you're coming from. But yeah, as fast as a GTR. Now, back again to the £5 billion. Now, I know we go on about us being in a financial bucket here, and especially with things like the Olympics and stuff, which yet again I see as a big money pit. Nah, could have been spent somewhere else. I'm just going through these, and some of these I've already covered. So, next one, cells, heavy. That's another thing, heavy. Now, the Nissan Note, and I'll just check here. I know. Basically, I'm sure I know. Basically, it's heavy, but that's basically going to be obvious because the batteries are not going to be like nose, the motor and all the equipment to change the power supply, the power going into the car, like AC, DC currents and all that. It's an AC motor it runs on, 3-phase AC motor. But so you're going to have to change things depending on what supply you use. So it is a heavy car compared to other things. I think I'm wanting to say 1800, but I think that's a bit heavy actually. I think it was more around about 1600. I could be wrong. You can comment if I am, but for the size of car, it is a heavy car compared to others. Engine development, I think I've actually gone through most of my rant actually. With petrol, Euro, VCNG. Yeah, I think I've gone through most of it, so I'm going to shut up now and I'm going to let you actually have a full discussion on the subject. So yeah. So if you want to do that, comment in the bottom, give me thumbs up or whatever you want. If you've liked stuff and that's just me rambling on, but I don't really have that much to do at the moment, and this subject is pretty high up on the agenda in my head. So give your comments below, give your opinions, and keep safe, and I shall be looking forward to reading what you've put. Thank you.